guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelsey and thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I feel like I have a bone to pick with a makeup product. So this makeup product is something that I feel like is slightly underrated in the makeup community right now, and I'm sad about it. So if you saw my last video, I was trying to repress this baked bronzer from Revolution Makeup. Little bit of an update. It ended up shattering again. Now this is probably my fault because I traveled with it back home to California and I should have known better, and like going into it, like when I was packing this, I was like, you know what? This is probably a bad idea, but I just love this so much, I'm taking it with me. And it re-broke, and now it's in like a bajillion pieces. Since it's gone and out of our lives now, I have been trying to track down another bronzer that could replace this for me. And I've been having a hard time. Now I've been wanting like a glowy bronzer, and I haven't been to like every single store in the world. I've gone to Ulta, I've done Target, I've done like a few drugstores. I think I've done Walgreens, I did Rite Aid while I was home, and I've done like Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and I've been trying to find something to replace that. Something that doesn't have to be baked, but like something that's glowy and just is a bronzer, not a contour. And I've come to realize bronzers are so underrated at the drugstore right now, and just like in high-end brands too. I was looking at Ulta and there's literally nothing, like nothing. And it's crazy. I don't get it. There's so many like contour palettes or like matte bronzers, but no one has shimmery bronzers anymore. And it's extremely sad. I'm gonna fix this light because it's not lighting me up. Kind of better. So for the last like few weeks, I have been on the hunt for bronzers. And I kind of want to share with you what I've come up with. So again, this was like the most perfect bronzer ever. Like literally this is the perfect bronzer for my skin. It's so beautiful. And now it's in millions of pieces. I could try to repress it again. I might. I don't know. Let me know if you've repressed a product twice. That seems risky. I feel like I'd like change the formula of it too much. But let me know. Then after days of searching, like I said, drugstore, high-end, I was willing to pay money for a bronzer. Like I didn't care if it was gonna be like $30. I wanted a bronzer. I ended up buying this bronzer from e.l.f., which this was like $2, I think. This is the e.l.f. Sun-Kissed bronzer. And this is just like a super basic bronzer. They had been out of this at Target for a while. I'd actually seen it like at Targets here in Minneapolis, and I was like, oh, I should try that bronzer. It's inexpensive. I want to say it's like glowy, but they were out of it. But I feel like I had seen it before, so I was like, I think it's a glowy bronzer, but I just don't remember. And so this is what it looks like up close. It's a little glowy, not super glowy. And then here's a swatch. But so while I was in California, I was at Target with my sisters because you have to. And they had this, and so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try this. And it's nice. It is nice. It's got that warmth to it, which that's what I was looking for. I didn't want something like cool tone. I didn't want a matte bronzer. I wanted a glowy, warm bronzer that wasn't too dark. And this is nice. It's not as nice as the Makeup Revolution one. It's not as glowy. Doesn't bring like quite that warmth that I wanted. But it is nice, and I'm not sad I spent $2 on it. Like, I don't regret it. The next thing I found is actually like my new favorite thing ever. Our last day in California, I kind of took like a day to myself, or an afternoon to myself. I went and walked around the mall and then walked across the street. There was like Ulta, TJ Maxx, Nordstrom Rack, a whole bunch of different places. And so I just kind of took the afternoon and like walked around, and I thought this might be a perfect time to look for a bronzer. And so I ended up finding this palette at TJ Maxx. At first, I had like walked around the whole makeup section and I had seen like one bronzer. I don't remember what brand it was, but I just wasn't super drawn to it. And I was like, ugh, I guess I'm not finding a bronzer here. And then upon second go around, I found this palette. And this is from Laura Geller. I have had some luck with Laura Geller products in the past. I have a baked blush that I really like, and I also have a baked highlight that I really enjoy. And so I was like, oh, what's in this palette? It says face, eyes, cheeks. What's in here? And so I opened it up. It's so pretty. So this is actually the bronzer color, which is interesting because there's like lots of like pink in it, but it actually looks phenomenal on the skin. It is beautiful. It provides like a glow, but also like some depth. I don't know, it's so pretty. It's glowy. It's a little bit darker. It's kind of pinky, which I don't mind in a bronzer. I'm here for it. But then this other like giant bronzer looking thing in here is actually like a body glow. It's called Tahitian Glow. And this is the bronzer in medium, by the way. But this is a body glow product. I didn't know that when I bought it. I thought this was the bronzer on this side, and I was like, yes, that looks like what I want. It's a baked bronzer. And this is really pretty as well. It's definitely got a glow to it. It's warm. It's got some depth. It's kind of reddy, and it's so pretty. It looks great on the skin. You can go heavy with it, but you can also have it like kind of light and glowy, and that's kind of what I do. I use like a really big brush. And so I was like, all right, how much is this palette? Because it was in like a sleeve inside of here, and the sleeve didn't have like anything about the products. I feel bad about opening products at like TJ Maxx and Marshalls, like places where the makeup is like, you know, I've seen people just like open up products at these kind of stores and like swatch them and then like put it back, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're ruining that for everyone else. And so, and just like rude. Who does that? Jerks. And so I opened this up. I felt so bad and was like, no one's looking, right? I took it out of the sleeve, and there was like a little plastic cover in here. And so I didn't remove that. I didn't touch anything, but I just wanted to see what the products looked like because I had no idea what was in here. And so when I saw this, I was like, how much is this? How much is this? $9.99. Or I guess this was Marshalls, not TJ Maxx. $9.99. I had to do it. So I bought it. And then you also got these two blushes, which are beautiful. I have it in the shade Honeysuckle and Pink Buttercream. And then two highlights, which this is like their most famous highlight, French Vanilla, and it's beautiful. And then Portofino, which is also very pretty. It's a little bit more glowy. And then there's 5 eyeshadows at the top, which I'm not like a huge fan of. I've worn them a few times. I think they're good. They're just not something I'd be like normally drawn to. They're all pretty shimmery, but they're fine. So I am wearing this palette today. I took a combination of the bronzer and like the body glow and did that as my bronzer, which that's been kind of like my go-to look recently. I take both of those products, so it's really glowy and like a great color, and I put that just all in the bronzer area. And then I am wearing the Pink Buttercream blush today. Both of those blushes are beautiful, look great on the skin, but the Pink Buttercream definitely has like a more neutral pink color, where the Honeysuckle, it looks really like nude, but it's more peachy on the cheeks. And so they're both beautiful, just different looks. And then I'm wearing the Portofino highlight today. This is my first day wearing that one, and it's really pretty. By the way, I did my makeup like a long time ago. It's 4 o'clock now, and I did my makeup at like 9 o'clock this morning. So however many hours that is, that long ago. And so these products have held up really well, which I feel like that has been the case when I've had other Laura Geller products. I've only tried a few like baked products from her, but totally love it. So I know this isn't like something you can like readily find. It's not something that's like available in the drugstore or something, but if you happen to be at a TJ Maxx and Marshalls and you see this puppy, highly recommended. I think this is beautiful. This is This is so nice, such a great deal. I do feel like places are starting to stop carrying Laura Geller. Like, I feel like at Ulta I've seen her products on clearance recently. And I don't know if that's, like, I don't know if the brand is like going away or Ulta's just not selling them anymore. I don't know. So maybe you can find some of her stuff on more of a deal now. I don't know, but I really, really enjoy that palette. And I guess all that to say is that I just feel like bronzers have been so overlooked as of late. I was like trying to track one down with my sisters and I was like, okay, if you find a bronzer, let me know. And they're like, oh, there's this. And I was like, that's not a bronzer. It was like a contour palette. And I was like, I don't want a contour palette. I have contour palettes. I want just like a glowy bronzer. And I remember back in the day, Hard Candy used to have like a glowy bronzer, and so I went on their website and I was like, all right, what's their bronzer like right now? They don't have one. They have a contour palette. And I like looked on all these brands' websites as like, oh, I feel like they might have it, or like, I remember back in the day, Lorac had like a baked bronzer that was like it. I think it was called like the Tantalizer or something, and everyone had it. It was like popular. I had it in a little small one, loved it. And so I went to Ulta for that because I was like, oh, maybe they still have it. Ulta doesn't even freaking have Lorac anymore. And I was like, how am I supposed to find a bronzer? So to those of you who are missing bronzers right now, good luck to you. And if you have anything that you recommend as a bronzer, let me know. Although I feel like I have enough now. Maybe. This was just a rant slash I wanted to show you this because it's so pretty. And again, if you see it, pick it up. Such a great deal. So that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. I would love to have you around. And until next time, bye guys.